Hey, this is James Pelton and have a little bit of a different video for you here today. So, a lot of times when people look at my success or they look at my financial situation, a lot of times there's a misconception that I made my money through crypto or I made my money through DeFi, but that's not true. That's not how I made my money originally. I started my own business. And when I talk to the wealthy people that are around me, my peers, most of them, they did not get wealthy through DeFi either. It's not like they put $500 into a project, it turned into $1 million, my financial future's secure. But I think that's what a lot of people are hoping happens. And I just don't think that's the best bet for your success. So I want to have at least a little content on my channel that is around side hustles, starting your own business, those types of things, because I believe that's a much better and safer path towards financial freedom than a lot of these, 2% a day crypto plays. And you might think, no, I can't do that. I can't do a side hustle. I can't start my own business. This is the best time in the history of humanity to start a business. Okay, and I'm not just saying that. 100 years ago, if you wanted to start a business, your customer base was really just the people immediately around you. You could basically serve your neighborhood, and that was it. That's not the way that it is today. When with the invention of the internet, you can start a business in your home, at your computer right now. You have all the tools that you need. I'm going to walk you through some of those tools here today, show you how I think through some of this stuff. You can start a business and the entire world can be your customer base. And another invention that I think can revolutionize the way that entrepreneurs function is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is able to, before, if there were things holding you back from starting a business, whether you were lacking knowledge in this area or you didn't have the creativity in this area, with AI, you're able to use something like ChatGPT or other AI tools, which I'll show you here today, to fill in the gaps of what you're good at, what you know. And really, it's never been easier to start a business than it is today. So I want to do several of these videos. The one I want to do today is I want to show you if you had an idea for a game, okay, just an idea, and you wanted to build this game, but you say, I don't know any programming, I don't have any graphical skills, how am I going to do this? I want to show you how you can leverage something like ChatGPT to maybe teach yourself how to code, or it can even do most of the work for you to make some of this stuff happen. And if you like this type of content, please do hit the like button. I mean, I know this is different than my normal content. I have Crypto Jimbo talking about crypto and Professor Pelton talking about educational stuff. For this one, I thought of Pioneering Pelton, but that name is terrible. So if you have a better one, please comment it down below. So I was just thinking yesterday and I thought, I want to build like a Telegram game. These are something, if you've been in any Telegram channels, these have been popping up, but it's just that these little simple games that are in Telegram, you just play them when you have a few free minutes. And I thought, how hard would it be to build one of those things? Would that be entertaining? Is that something that I could do? So I got on ChatGPT. And again, this is how I think you should be using ChatGPT, is just talk to it, ask it what you want to do. So I want to create the next really addictive, simple browser game, kind of like Flappy Birds. You remember Flappy Birds? I want it to be something I could add to my community's Telegram channel just for fun. What would be your best idea? So again, here I didn't even have an idea for a game. I just said, I want to build some kind of game, and ChatGPT could fill in the blanks for me. So it told me, hey, build Space Hopper, an addictive browser game. Players control a cute alien creature that must hop from planet to planet, avoiding obstacles, collecting power-ups. They talk about the gameplay. They planned it all out for me. And again, you don't have to use exactly what they said. You can make changes as you see fit, but they basically gave me a full game idea off of just asking, what's an idea for a game I could build? They have all these gameplay ideas. They talk about how it should look. They talk about how you could monetize it. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. This is like having a business advisor just at your fingertips that you can pitch a million different ideas to, or ask them for ideas. ChatGPT put together this idea for Space Hopper. And then the next question I thought someone might ask is, okay, awesome. Show me step by step how I could build this. And then again, not only did ChatGPT give me the idea for the game, but they showed me step by step how I would need to build this. Plan the game design, choose a game development platform, program it, which we'll talk about this. What if you don't know how to program? How do you do something like this? Create the game structure, etc., etc. It's a pretty extensive list. It really shows you, everything you would need to do to get started. So going back to number one, it's okay, well, assume I don't know how to plan the game design. How do I sketch out the game mechanics, user interface, and visual elements? So I asked ChatGPT, do that. Sketch out the game mechanics, user interface, and visual elements. I really haven't done anything yet, right? I've just been telling ChatGPT to do it. and they planned out the game mechanics for me. You're going to have alien creatures, planets, obstacles, power-ups. This is what the user interface is going to look like. Here's the visual elements that you're going to need. So then I kind of turned this into a checklist, these things. I said, okay, check, sketch out the game mechanics. Check, I define the game objects. Plan the scoring system and leaderboard functionality. How do I do that? So again, I just said, okay, please plan the scoring system and leaderboard functionality. So then ChatGPT told me, okay, here's how you should score it. Here's how scoring should work. Here's how the leaderboard should work. So, I mean, we have pretty much the plans for the game all in place here. So then we got to step 2. So then we get to choosing a game development platform. Okay, and it says use HTML5, so we'll take note of that. Then it says choose a suitable game engine. And I'm a programmer by trade, but I've been out of the programming scene for quite a while. I don't know what Phaser, 3.js, or Babylon.js is. So again, I go to ChatGPT, I say, which game engine should I use? And it says for a simple browser-based game like Space Opera, I'd use the Phaser game engine. So it's like, okay, so I've planned the game design. Well, ChatGPT did it for me. I chose a game development platform. ChatGPT did it for me. Okay, here's kind of the tough part. Set up your development environment. So now we're actually going to get programming. And again, you might not have any programming knowledge. So it's like, okay, this is the part where I'm completely out of my depths. Well, it breaks it down into steps. It says install Node.js and NPM. It's like, okay, how do I do that? So the next thing I asked ChatGPT, show me how to install Node.js and NPM to manage dependencies and run development tools. So again, I haven't even had to think yet. I've just been having ChatGPT do all the work. And they got me to the point where I have Node installed, I have NPM installed. Again, I'm trying to come at this as if I have no programming knowledge, but this is a great way to learn also. You can learn, hey, what is Node? ChatGPT kind of can teach you through that. Here's how you install it. Here's how you install NPM. So again, just going through this and checking boxes. Install a code editor. I didn't need ChatGPT's help for that. I can install a text editor. Set up a version control system like Git to manage your code base. So again, anything I don't know, just come here. How can I set up a version control system like Git to manage your code base? And it walks me through how to install Git. And this is something I'm very familiar with as a programmer, but again, the instructions they gave, I think, are simple enough. You could do it without any programming knowledge. And if you get stuck, you can come to ChatGPT and ask them, hey, I'm stuck. This is what I'm seeing. I'll show you how I have to do this a little bit later. So now I'm done with steps 1, steps 2, and step 3. I didn't do anything for step 1 or step 2. ChatGPT did it all. Step 3, I just basically had to type some things that they said to type in. I learned a little bit about some of this stuff, and now first 3 steps are done. So I get to step 4, initialize an empty project using your chosen game engine or framework. And if you remember, they had told me to use Phaser, which again, I know nothing about Phaser. I've been out of the coding seat. I don't know what that is. But so I said, ChatGPT, initialize an empty project using Phaser. It's basically just word for word what they told me to do. And they said, here's how you initialize an empty project using Phaser. They say some things you type in. And again, a great opportunity to learn. If you don't understand what mkdir means, you can learn, oh, that means make directory, and so you can learn some of this stuff. You don't have to necessarily. It'll make your journey more enjoyable, but you can do this. npm init-y. Install Phaser as a dependency. Create the necessary files and folders. You can just follow these instructions word for word. You don't have to really do much thinking on your own. Copy and paste it. You can even click this. They make it so easy. Copy code. Paste it into the file that they say to paste it into. There's a main.js file that they show us, here's what you're going to need. And you copy and paste that in there. They kind of explain some of what the code is doing. Then they show you how you can run it. npm install-g http-server. And if you know nothing about programming and you start doing some of this stuff in your terminal, you're going to feel pretty cool. I'll just tell you that. You're going to feel pretty awesome. Start the development server by running the following command from your project directory. Then you can see what you're building here at this website. So then we're done with number 4. We initialized an empty project. We organized the project structure. We built the folders that you needed. So again, 1, 2, 3, and 4, we're done. This probably take you maybe 10 minutes to get through these first 4 steps. And you've learned a lot along the way. You have a game. You know what you want to build. Just crazy how fast. This would have taken much, much longer without ChatGPT. Coming up with the game idea, coming up with all the rules, coming up with the programming language that you're going to use, all this stuff. You'd have to really search the internet to do this. And now it's just all compiled in one place. So now we get to number 5, develop the core game mechanics, implement the alien creatures movement and jumping mechanics. So again, okay, how do I do that? how can I implement the alien's creatures, movement, and jumping mechanics? And they give me the code. They say load an alien image, add this to the create function in your project. Again, great learning opportunities to see, okay, what's my code doing? Implement the jumping mechanics, add a jump velocity, and then they give you even, here's what your code should look like now. So super helpful. And again, if you have troubles or questions along the way, you can ask ChatGPT. Say, hey, why are you doing this? And one question that I had as I was going through this is I was like, okay, alien.png is an image. Where do I get that image from? So how can I get alien.png? Like, I'm not an artist. What do I do to do that? So they had, you can create your own image, which I'm not going to do that. I have no artistic ability. Use free game asset resources. So I was able to kind of look through some of these. I like this Gamer Art 2D. Again, they just have like free art. And so you can just go on something like this. I think Open Game Art was where I ended up using, but you just type in alien. Let's just do alien, see what comes up. Or let's do alien. Oh, that looks pretty good. So all these alien images are just free to use. Free sprite game alien character. So I'm going to download that. Completely free, which I mean, I really appreciate that. So after that downloaded, I have this alien folder, some PNGs. I can pick what color. And okay, here's an alien.png. So again, I was able to do that. Again, without any artistic ability, really no thinking on my end very much, but I have an alien.png. So and then I broke away a little bit from their to-do list. I said, okay, I got an alien. How can I just see the alien, make sure jumping works okay? They gave me kind of the step-by-step to make sure it's running, how I can check it out in my browser to make sure the alien shows up. I will say here, at this point, I ran into a couple of problems that, again, as a programmer, I could have just fixed them myself, but I was like, okay, if I didn't have programming knowledge, I got an error, and so I just pasted the error. And then ChatGPT says, oh, okay, actually, I made a mistake, and it showed me how to fix the mistake that ChatGPT made. And again, this is a big part of the programming experience, is learning how to fix bugs or fix issues. I had another issue where it was showing up, but then there was 2 aliens instead of just 1. So I asked ChatGPT, it showed me how to fix that. So, and after we worked through that issue, I said, okay, what should main.js look like now? I can compare it to my code. You can paste your code and say, hey, what does this need to look like? And it shows me, here's exactly what your code should be right now. I said, okay, alien's showing up. It's working great now. How can I make him jump? ChatGPT gives me the code to make him jump. Worked through a couple more issues. I wanted to add in the sky. So I said, where could I get the sky asset? They kind of sent me to the same place. I did the same process to grab a sky. And again, just any questions I have along the way, I just ask. Like, well, okay, I'm getting a sky image. What size should it be? So they told me it should be 800 by 600. All I was able to find was 1920 by 1200. I said, hey, will that work okay? That's what I found. They said, yep, that'll be fine. Here's the code to add the sky in. So then I wanted to get the platforms that the alien is able to jump on. So I said, what image should I use for that? And they said, oh, maybe get a rock or something like that. So I looked around for that. They showed me how to add that in as well. So then I broke away a little bit from the game they were wanting to make, where I had my own ideas, where I just want this to be a game where an alien can jump from platform to platform and you get points each time. So I said, okay, how can I make platforms in such a way that there can be multiple platforms you can hop from one to another? And this is such a unique way of communicating with the computer. Again, I'm used to programming where you have to say exactly what you're looking to do. ChatGPT, you can kind of just say in general, I want to make platforms in a way that I can jump from one to another. And it gives me the code. Hey, here's how you create multiple platforms. Here's what the code would look like. Then I wanted to add it so the alien could not just jump, but move from side to side. ChatGPT showed me how to build that. A couple times, I just pasted my whole code and said, hey, this is what I have. This is what it's doing. This is what I want it to do. And it shows you, okay, go to this line, change this. Go to this line, change this. So then I made it so it was working fine. You could have an alien that jumped from platform to platform. I'll show you the kind of the final result here near the end of the video. But now I was like, I want it to scroll as you're going up. So you jump on platforms and it kind of follows you and keeps going as you go up. And so it showed me how to create a camera and have it follow the alien. Then instead of like specifying where the platforms were, I wanted it to be kind of random, like just have random platforms that I can jump from. So it's going to be a new game each time. It showed me how to do that. Again, I got an error a couple times that I just said the error, and then it says apologies for the oversight, which is weird when computers have oversight, but yeah, it tells you, okay, here's what you need to do to fix that. So and I was running into a problem where my head would hit the top of the screen and it wouldn't scroll. So they showed me, oh, you need to create a world that's bigger than the screen that you're showing, and there's a camera on the alien, and you do it that way. So again, this was a learning experience for me. I've never created a game with Phaser. I didn't know how these scroll type games worked, but ChatGPT showed me. It was a little slow, so I said I wanted to speed it up. It gave me the code to do that. And there was a bit of back and forth with ChatGPT. Like sometimes the platforms were too far away, so we had to work on the code. It's kind of funny. It's like I have an assistant who's helping me through this, but we had to work through the code to, okay, let's not make them too far away, but let's not make them too close. We had to work through some of that. So all in all, I would say I spent 45 minutes on this. I learned a lot. I do have the advantage that I know coding, so it might take you a little bit longer. But here's what I ended up with after about 45 minutes of putting this together. So I present to you for the first time Space Hopper, okay? And obviously there is a lot that I can do with this game still. It's obviously not polished and it's not something that, look, this is gonna be tricky. There we go. See, I'm a master at my own game. There's obviously things we could improve. I'd like it to be a little faster. There's seams on the sky, so some of that stuff. I'd probably put in some sound when the alien's facing to the left. I'd maybe flip him. I mean, again, some of that stuff I don't know how to do, so I just asked ChatGPT, hey, how do I make it so that the alien, when he goes to the left, faces left? And ChatGPT will tell me exactly how to do that. So if I go on to finish this game, leave a like if you want me to finish building this. If I get 1,000 likes, I will finish building this game and show you the finished result when I'm all done. I'll polish it. I'll put in a scoring system. I'll put in some power-ups. I'll put in maybe some enemies. Like maybe we put a guy on one of these platforms that you have to dodge or something like that. I mean, oh no. There's all sorts of stuff that you could do to make it better. And then, ChatGPT, I think, can show me putting it on Telegram, how you do that. Maybe I'll put it in my Telegram channel for my members, and we'll have some fun with it. And really my intention with this, I'm very distracted now. I want to get to the top. I made it so that there's 50 platforms. These are actually tough here. It took me a while to figure out how to get these ones that are right on top of each other. But anyways, my intention is not really for you to follow this step by step and build a Space Hopper game. Like I'm building. I should have made the background space instead of sky if it's going to be called Space Hopper. But anyways, my intention is just to get your entrepreneurial juices flowing. Like you can do this with anything. It doesn't even have to be something. It doesn't have to be a game. It doesn't have to be something that you program. So I asked ChatGPT, I said, imagine you're an entrepreneur. Your job is to create a business from scratch that makes $100 a month. Let's start small. You don't have to start with making $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month. You can work your way up to that, but let's just get something out there that makes $100 a month with as little work as possible. What would you start with? And show me in detail the exact steps to do that. So they said, okay, as an entrepreneur aiming to make $100 a month with minimal effort, I'd make a small digital product business, maybe an ebook or an online course. And then it gave me some steps to do it. Identify a niche, create valuable content, set up a website. And then I even broke it down more. Identifying a niche is kind of like, well, how do you do that? So show me how to do number one. Show me how to identify a niche. And then it gives all these steps you can go through. And by the time I was done working with ChatGPT on this one, I found this checklist of things. I'll share this with you guys. I'm going to do a tweet about it. But just a checklist of, hey, here's the steps you need to take to make $100 a month with a digital product. And I mean, it's very granular. Like they say, step by step. I told ChatGPT, write it for me like I'm a 7th grader. Show me each step that needs to be done. So you're finding your niche. Write down 10 specific interests. Generate related keywords using a tool called Ubersuggest. And again, you can dig down into any of these more, like saying, hey, what does it mean to generate related keywords using Ubersuggest? Show me how to do that. So the sky's the limit, but this lays out a roadmap for me for selling my digital product. And how do I market it? How do I track and optimize performance? I mean, just a great tool to helping you start any business that you can come up with. So I'd love to hear from some of you guys. Comment down below. What business ideas do you have? What's a business that you really want to start, but you feel like, oh, I don't have the right resources to get going with that? And give ChatGPT a try. Like just try asking it, brainstorming with it a little bit. Use it as a tool to kind of help you get going on your business. But I'd love to hear stories. What businesses are you wanting to start? Have you tried using ChatGPT to make some of these things happen? And again, please hit the like button. If you want more of this content, I'd love to show you more business ideas that I have that I'm going to put out there. And of course, let me know if you want me to finish the Space Hopper game and you want to play it for yourself. But I hope this is helpful for you all. Appreciate you guys and hope you all have a great rest of the day. Thanks.